Hello again, rail fans. You know, there are few things more exciting than an adventure to new rail fanning territory. But, unfortunately, time doesn't allow that for most of us. So we do our rail fanning close to home, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do today.
Home territory for me is a triangle between Tampa, Plant City, Lakeland, and Vitis Junction. Just about everything in the area passes through those points. On this day, I began at the south end of Winston Yard. I got there just in time to see Q603 yarding his consist. 603 was, at this time, nightly phosphate and merchandise traffic from Waycross to Lakeland. This was July 2015, and the searchlight signals were still standing watch. In fact, they still are in 2017, but who knows for how much longer. This morning, 603 had an SD50 in trail, led by an SD70, then two early GE-8 wide cabs up front. Now, some rail fans bash these old GEs as uninteresting or commonplace, and that may be true, but I love them. These two old soldiers are still in CSX's 1990s paint scheme, nicknamed Yellow Nose 2. I left the south end and drove around to the north end and the A-line at Lakeland Connection. Here sat a crewless Q213, auto-rack loads for West Palm and Taft Yard at Orlando. Today's 213 has a CSX standard cab SD60 leading. CSX acquired this giant from Conrail in the 1998 merger. In trail is CEFX 3141, an ex-Santa Fe model SD40M-2, now owned by the giant rail leasing firm CIT. With no action here, I drifted northward toward Vitis Junction. On the radio, I could hear, coming up behind me, Q740, Tropicana juice loads from Bradenton to Greenville, New Jersey. A clear signal gave confirmation at Ellerslie, where the 4-mile-long Vitis double track singles up going northward. In 20 minutes, here came Q740, two big GEs, an ES44 DC, and an ES40 DC pulling 14 cars. Seems like locomotive overkill, but this was a no-doubt-about-it hot-shot train. Tropicana has been an important customer since the Seaboard Coastline days in 1971. The juice train may have been the first all-food service unit train in the country. Won't see it anymore, though. This unit train has been abolished and now runs as part of the nightly hotshot Q046, Tampa to Jack's Ramp.
Now, I must have been in the driving mood this day because I drove all the way from Ellerslie near Dade City all the way back down to Auburndale, which is quite a stretch. I'd gotten a call from my railfan friend Shannon Sikora. He said that a rock train coming up the A-line with FEC power leading was approaching Auburndale. Now, we don't see much FEC power on this side of the state, so I figured that was worth a drive.
The train, K978, was in Auburndale siding, and when I got there, they had just finished cutting the crossing, which meant a wait. Cutting a crossing means uncoupling the train at a road crossing and pulling the head end on a cross to allow vehicle traffic through. This is done when the train is going to be stopped there for an extended period. Some towns have time limits as short as 5 minutes. While this was happening, Amtrak 91 came up on us. Southbound into Tampa with 2 engines and 2 sleepers and no diner. Not sure why that coach was up front behind the locomotives. I drove to the head end where Shannon Sikora was waiting. He was on the phone with another rail fan somewhere up on the Sanford end of the A line. The FEC units were in the lead as advertised. We waited in the heat for a few minutes when Amtrak 97, the Silver Meteor, showed up. The Meteor often has a third sleeping car and a diner. Then the crew van showed up and took the crew away, indicating the train would be going nowhere soon. So I moved down to the Diamond at Auburndale, a mile west. Out of the west came that Q213 from earlier this morning at Lakeland Connection, recrewed and finished with their drop-off at Carter Siding, which is the cut for Palm Center. And now they're headed on to Taft Yard, Orlando. Underneath the US 92 bridge in Auburndale is not a great photo spot in the afternoon, but it's where I was when the train got there. In about 20 minutes, 0713 entered the picture. 713 is a local that originated in Winston Yard and worked Auburndale Yard and some other customers in the area. Leading 713 is 2742, an AMD Model GP38-2, and 4310, a Model GP39-2. Though they look pretty much the same on the outside, the 2742 makes 2,000 horsepower with a 16-cylinder, normally aspirated engine, while the 4310 makes 2,300 horsepower with a 12-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now, I don't pretend to know this stuff. I got it from my friend Mike Woodruff, a known locomotive rivet counting expert. He provided all the info to me. I said goodbye to Shannon and was ready to pull out when Q170 appeared on the radio. I moved south on McKean Street about 100 yards to the crossing. Q170 is fresh out of the Winter Haven Intermodal Logistics Center and is on its way to Jacksonville. This is the McDonald Connection. It connects the SAL Miami Main to the ACL Tampa Main. It's really more main line than connection, though, because virtually all traffic between Miami, Okeechobee, and Winter Haven takes this connection to reach Lakeland, Tampa, and the S-Line to Jacksonville.
This was July 2015, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was way too hot for any more Central Florida rail fanning for me that day. So that was it. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button below down there. I'd appreciate it. If you got any comments about the video itself, write them in the comments section below. I try to reply to all of them. If you've got any other questions for me, send them to me at RailFanDanny on my Facebook page. That's at RailFanDanny. I try to look at that every day, and I try to reply to every one of the questions there. I'm in Auburndale, Florida at milepost SX 820.4. So until next time, this is Danny Harmon, out.